Dollar, dollar, dollar is what I need. And if I share with you my story, would you share your dollar with me?
Once upon a time, stood in that turkey and mashed potatoes Salvation Army line, begged for a bit of your once-a-year love, your once-a-year time, held onto Mama's hand, even though touch wasn't anything she felt, knew, or understand. Her an untouched, unloved, mixed-raced, houseless orphan, barely knew safety, much less love, hugs, or kisses as a baby. It was like we weren't looking for love, but just somewhere the pain might not be. This time of year was beyond sick. Rage would overtake her, rage against what was never there, deep sorrow to follow. The people who hurt her lined up in an imaginary jail inside her head, from teachers to peers to so-called foster parents. Barely came out of all of that alive, with PTSD so bad it didn't even have a start time. I inherited her everything, her beautiful, deep spirit that never gave up, an almost untouchable pain that had no end game. We struggled every day just to survive, not just foodless, rentless, houseless, but familyless, peopleless, and always so much alone. Alone time, pure isolation into with fake notions of togetherness and connectedness that was never ours. Screams began on Thanksgiving and didn't end till after Gregorian New Year time. Screams, moans of lost love poured into with more capitalist poverty than one human could hold. Yeah, we made it. Barely alive, holding on to each other without words, just a tethered rope of what we needed to survive. This podcast for a poverty scholar goes out to all the peoples holding on to the sorrows of 1,000 rivers and the untouchable pain of this time of year. The notion of PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, and what it looks like for so many in this occupied Mama Earth, filled with confusion and fear, sorrow and wealth hoarding and love hoarding, and trying to survive by any means necessary. Even if you do got people, maybe your life's in danger. Maybe it's amazing you just alive. Yeah, this is a love poem for all who are listening, a love poem of consciousness, a love poem back to yourselves, your babies, to practice a hug and a kiss even if you aren't used to it, to appreciate that you live with this trauma this long, realize if you made it this far, you're already that strong. That to survive PTSD is to shine, and that at least to know that this poverty scholar hopes and holds you in a great big almost smile. That healing and so-called self-care isn't always so easy when you're still unsure of how to feel yourself. That healing and change is slow like molasses, that it will come, and for now, that pain is real too. So love that pain in you, even if it's a lot of the time. And guess what, family? This poverty scholar says, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right.
I had a job, but the boss sorry, but I won't be needing your help no more. I said, please, Mr. Boss Man, I need this job more than you know. But he gave me my last paycheck and he sent me on out the door. Well, I need a dollar is what I need. Hey, hey. Said I need a dollar.